they'll hurt themselves significantly, and out of embarrassment or just out of the pure trying to get out of that stigma, they will forego even mentioning the incident while they're on the property, as well as they'll forego even pursuing the claim.
How do premises liability laws work in Ohio? We're going to talk to attorney Michelle Martin about that on today's Ask the Lawyer. Michelle, thanks for joining us.
Of course. Thank you, Molly.
Always nice to see you. So first off, as an injury attorney, you've handled lots of premises liability cases. Can you give us an overview of what happens when somebody is injured on a commercial property?
Sure. When someone's injured while being an invitee or a business invitee on a commercial property, most of the time there's going to be an incident report that is taken by the manager or someone in a managerial position. There's going to be staff around to provide witness statements and any witnesses that are around. There's also going to be, of course, a follow up with their risk management team to make sure that any incidents that occur and any incidents that reported are accurately investigated and followed upon.
So do you think that people have the wrong idea about these kinds of cases? What kind of injuries have you seen in slip and fall cases?
I think slip and fall cases do get a bad rap. Just, they've kind of been the butt of the jokes. You see someone slip and fall and they say, my back, my neck and my back. I want 150,000. It's kind of the running joke. However, they're very serious matters. A lot of the times folks will fall while on a premises that's been negligently maintained, and they'll hurt themselves significantly. And out of embarrassment or just out of the pure trying to get out of that stigma, they will forego even mentioning the incident while they're on the property, as well as they'll forego even pursuing the claim. While a lot of the cases that I've handled have had significant damage, either substantial aggravation to a pre-existing injury, such as a hip or back injury that you may have suffered, before the fall. There's also been lots of broken bones, lots of torn rotator cuffs from trying to brace yourself from falling. And a lot of folks have traumatic brain injuries because they'll hit their head on the ground and, you're kind of dazed and confused. And those are really concussions and or traumatic brain injuries that occur once someone falls.
So obviously the injuries can be pretty severe. Can you tell us a little bit about what constitutes a dangerous condition in slip and fall claims, and when a business might be liable for a dangerous condition and when they might not be?
Yeah, so a dangerous condition is going to be a condition that is on a property that either creates a substantial risk of harm to another person, or because of the negligent maintenance, or it'll be something that was created by the premises owner to either attract a customer, but then has, of course, created a substantially dangerous condition. A lot of the times, a dangerous condition can be something such as someone's making a spill on the floor. It's been reported and no one has followed up on it within an adequate amount of time. A dangerous condition could also be something like a hole in the ground, and there could be construction tape that is supposed to be around it. However, maybe there's been some type of maybe someone's come around, taking it off. Maybe the weather has removed it, but it's up to that premises owner to make sure that those conditions are made safe for the folks that they invite onto their premises. So any condition that creates a substantial risk of harm or shows the negligence of the premises owner that creates harm to the patrons would be considered a dangerous condition.
So if somebody is injured on a commercial property, what should they do? Kind of walk us through the steps. Do they need to go to the ER? Do they need to alert the property owner right away? And what if their injury gets worse over time?
And Molly, that's a great question because a lot of the times folks' injuries do get worse over time. So that's why it's important to try as hard as you can to follow a proper procedure, which would be from the moment that you fall, if you're able to move, then you do want to contact a store employee to get to store management so that you can then file that incident report that I mentioned earlier on. You want to create the paper trail for the fall itself, because let's say you don't feel bad when you first fall and you just walk out of the store and you don't file that incident report. If, like you said, your injury does get worse, it's going to be a little more difficult to go back into the store, try to file the incident claim then, and ask them to pull the tapes. A lot of the times, the premises owners don't even have rolling tape that they keep for a long period of time. So you have to know when to get it, like how soon you can get in to get a copy of the tape, because or the audio or visual, whatever monitoring devices they have on the premises, because you want to get that evidence early on. So the proper procedure would be, of course, to go file that incident report. Depending on the type of injury that you sustained, then you may end up at the emergency room, your urgent care, or your primary care physician. And then you're going to want to follow, depending on the diagnostics, any care that is recommended to you so that you can get back to where you were before the fall.
So, Michelle, can you kind of tell us about what the process is at your law office for these types of claims to make sure that people get the money that they need to pay their medical bills and other damages that they've sustained?
Yeah, so at my firm, essentially we follow the same proper protocols that the store would be following, just to make sure that we're aligned with those processes and that we are collecting the information and the evidence that we need. So when I get clients that call in, or potential clients at that point, call in, say they've fallen at a store, the first thing I ask is, did you report the incident to anyone at the store? And if you did, who was that person? So that we can get that contact information and get that incident report as soon as possible. If they hadn't reported it, then I encourage them to call back to that store and to go ahead and report the incident, so that maybe, the person who was there working the day that they fell may be working there that day, and you have a better opportunity to preserve that evidence. Because once you come in as a client of mine, let's say you have not preserved the evidence and you have not asked for the video, then we work really diligently to reach out to that store and send over a spoliation letter so that we can stop any evidence from being either sometimes evidence can be lost or destroyed. So we try to minimize that by sending over a preservation letter asking that the premises owner hold that evidence in anticipation for, either the claim or the case moving forward. Once we sign the client up and we make sure that we have all the information that the client's going to need, we begin processing the claim as quickly as possible to make sure that any specialist that the client may need to see, that we're aligned with them, and we keep their medical records and their medical treatment in our my case management system, to make sure that we are aligned with the clients and that we're working with them while they're going through their treatment.
Michelle, always great information and always nice to see you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Molly. I look forward to next time.
And that's going to do it for this episode of Ask the Lawyer. My guest has been Michelle Martin. If you would like to ask her about your situation, call the number on your screen. Thanks for watching. I'm Molly Hendrickson for Ask the Lawyer.